Some Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Today is the 8th of March 2023. Remember guys to like, share, comment and follow, and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our new uploads that we do upload here. So guys, governor is Arab Visit Governor Dr. John Mangudya. Yes, the man yesterday did a press conference whereby he explained more about the press statement which he released a few days ago, and he talked about sanctions. People on the streets and social media, they were discussing about it, saying, okay, is this what the man is saying? And so Herald did a story here. It written Mangudya clears air on economic sanctions. And so Zimbabwe remains under a punitive regime of economic sanctions that have negatively impacted the movement of funds and trading capabilities in the past 2 decades. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Arab Visit Governor Dr. John Mangudya said, clarifying a statement he issued on Monday in regard to sanctions. Dr. Mangudya shot down wild claims by some social media outlets that the central bank is being used to bust sanctions by noting that there are no sanctions on Zimbabwean gold and therefore no persuasion to circumvent that which does not exist. This was quickly seized by the country's detractors and excitable opposition elements who sought and claimed that there are no sanctions on Zimbabwe. This is despite the fact that the country is under illegal sanctions from the United States, which were imposed in 2001 in the form of the Zimbabwe Democracy Recovery Act, which to this day seeks to reverse the land reform program and give land back to white former farmers. In an interview, Dr. Mangudya said Zimbabwe remains under sanctions that affect the movement of funds. Sanctions on Zimbabwe are through ZIDERA and by OFAC through placing of entities on the designated list of sanctions. What this means is that whilst these sanctions are not directly on trade per se, they negatively affect the movement of funds within the international banking system. The Zimbabwean banking sector has lost a substantial number of corresponding banking relationships over the past 20 years through de-risking because of the OFAC sanctions. OFAC sanctions also affect the smooth flow of funds across the borders as financial institutions are obligated to comply with OFAC sanctions. ZIDERA, on the other hand, is designed to put a credit freeze on official financial flows to Zimbabwe, said Dr. Mangudya. Yesterday morning, Dr. Mangudya told a breakfast meeting in Harare that allegations of money laundering through the Arab Visit that were raised by some media organizations could not go unchallenged. The snippets of the documentary that were coming are not rumors or grapevine. When something like that is advertised, I will not sit down and wait. When someone is demonizing the central bank and the government of Zimbabwe, I'm the custodian of the financial system in this country, Mangudya said. Money laundering is serious. Even when people say I responded fast or I was supposed to wait for what? When the house is burning, you are told that there is an allegation of money laundering in your country and the Reserve Bank is the one cleaning it and you sleep comfortably waiting. That's not acceptable. We are a central bank that has its own integrity, said Dr. Mangudya. The US, through the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, administers and enforces its illegal sanctions on Zimbabwe using its laws, and the enforcement can result in heavy civil penalties or criminal referrals. Because of the sanctions, Zimbabwe's access to international credit markets was blocked following the impact of ZIDERA. Its creditworthiness has declined as the country's international financial risk profile escalated. Zimbabwean companies, banks included, and individuals have found it extremely difficult to effect payments through international payment platforms as these transactions are intercepted and blocked because of the US foothold on the global financial system. Because of the sanctions, both companies and individuals have had their accounts frozen or have, in the case of banks, been fined millions of dollars for processing funds. For instance, it's public knowledge that Barclays Bank Zimbabwe was fined $2.5 million for processing 3 transactions for a sanctioned entity. The bank had to spend its excess of $12 million to comply with further requirements placed on it by OFAC and the US Treasury. Several companies and individuals have suffered the same fate when they are fined for transactions involving Zimbabwe, while the corresponding banking platforms have been closed. That's the latest here. We did a live on Monday. Yes, we are trying by all means to know what Dr. Mangudya was saying on that press statement which he released by Al Jazeera document when he talked about Zema sanctions, that the RBZ is not under sanctions, but for you to transact with an American bank, so he explained it here, and he said that it's indirectly. And yes, although RBZ is not under sanctions, but it's not easy to process a transaction for America. Some banks have been fined for doing that. At some point, somehow, we cannot do it because of ABCD. Although RBZ is not under sanctions, but kuti ukwanise kuita business nemunhu ari kuamerica zvinondonetsa because of nyaya dzemasanctions. And saka, this is what the man is trying to explain here, and saying kuti I cannot just wait and relax and sip comfortably nchiziva kuendeka kuti kune document riri kutenderera pasocial media riri kuspoila zita reRBZ and the government of Zimbabwe. And these people were on that video, they were saying that they have his number on speed dial when the one man deals with afambe bobo, and is anetse munhu ndinaye number dzake dziri pa speed dial, I can just give him a call. So iwe uchinzwa zita rako richitaura pa a small clip which is circulating on social media. At the same time, you are the governor of the Reserve Bank of that country. Of course, you have to respond. You cannot wait for the whole documentary. You have to distance yourself from those people at the same time from that documentary, because it is soiling the name of yourself as the governor and also the institution itself. And because vari kupomerwa kumosva kunzi vari kucleana mari, at the same time vari kuita my illicit deals under the carpet. And so let it tell in the comment section, guys. This is daily news, breaking news, everyday news. Do you think this is enough for RBZ kuti izvichenese pa documentary pa mashoti akabuda a documentary rukubva ku Al Jazeera investigative unit? Remember, documentary takarimirira asati tabuda rese. And saka we are talking about a small clip, a 12-second clip rakaburiswa a few days ago, rakatrenda pa social media. Many people are still waiting for the full documentary and blamed him for quickly responding. Some people saying you were just supposed to wait until the full documentary, but he's saying, you know what, I have to reply. At the same time, he explains a lot about Yema sanctions, because with that press statement he said there are no sanctions against RBZ, there are no sanctions about RBZ exporting or importing gold, but could we take my transactions here? He's now saying that it's impossible to do my transactions with European countries or the US. This is daily news, breaking news, everyday news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Thank you guys for listening and watching. He's saying that sanctions also affect the smooth flow of funds across the borders, as financial institutions are obligated to comply with all FAC sanctions. And which means for RBZ to do business with other banks around the world, pantonetsa because nyaya sanctions. And it's indirectly, but at the same time we are not under sanctions when it comes to RBZ. This is what the man is saying. Munozona say, guys, in the comment section, guys. Remember to like, share, comment and follow. Bless up.